For making it a point to be here today. Thank you going out to La Palm Royal Beach Hotel. Fun yoga nutrition on the go, Yas washing powder and Yas sanitary pad, Hooch corn and choco flakes, special ice, mineral water and special drink. GTP 50 years of celebrating beautiful textiles in Ghana, and I'm saying a very big thank you to Swift by Daylex Finance. All you have to do is pick up your phone, dial *721#. If you are lazy, like I do get lazy sometimes, just pick your phone and dial 721 and follow the voice prompts, and you will be connected to Swift to start saving as little as 1 cedi, as little as 2 cedis, as much as 5 cedis, 10 cedis a day for a lifetime. I'm saying a very big thank you to Brown Gold Natural Cocoa Powder. If you're diabetic, don't worry about your diabetic condition. Just get yourself Brown Gold Natural Cocoa Powder and you will be sorted. Thank you going out to Nancy Black for my makeup, Roji1Studio.com and Kokompe for my hair, and Ophelia of ABS Collection for my outfit. There are some words we have read in books, and I'm sure we continue to read them or we hear people talk about them but have not experienced it. Today on Restoration, our guest will be sharing an incredible story that most of us will think was from a storybook. Please let's welcome Elivava. Hello. Let me help you. Thank you. Whoa.
It's nice seeing you.
Where's Olo? You know, when I have to call you Elivava, I go back and I'm like, okay, then why the change of name? Because I have known you for almost 2 decades. Yeah, from when you used to perform with Lumba. Because I worked with him and I saw you do your backgrounds, dance on stage. She can dance. She's a good dancer. That one, I won't take it from her. Very good dancer. And I remember back then, anytime Lumba had a show, he'd say, oh, Mofa Tina and Shenimuho. Because she can use her body very well, not in a negative way.
Of course.
Yes.
That's true.
Why did you change your name? Why did you take out Tina?
Well, it all started when I was born. This name was hidden. Like, when in my family, when they give birth to a child, they name her after somebody. And I was named after my grandmom. But the name wasn't Elivava. The name was Paulina. And so they call me Kuku Paulina, because she's grandma, and in my language you say Kuku. So my name was Kuku Paulina. But when I was growing up, I always tell myself, I want to get a unique name. You know, they call me Tina all the time. I wasn't feeling comfortable with it.
Sometimes you go to the market and they call Tina and 4 people turn
so
their
many
heads.
people, yeah. So I was like, oh, what can I do? So I started thinking. Okay, then I started changing the names around, like Elinam, Eli, and then, you know, so on, so a lot of names. So I was like, Eliva, sounds good. So then I started trying to find out about the meanings of the names and what I was getting, because I'm creative and I like to work a lot when I'm creating. So I was like working, and then the name came and it said Elivava. So Elivava means he truly lives, which is God. So then, okay, then I can also live forever. So then I changed it into Elivava, which means I live forever.
That's a deep meaning. Who is Elivava? Now, I will not even say Elivava. Elivava. That's how I will say it.
Of course. Well, Elivava is just a young woman. I'll say young because I look young and I'm beautiful. And
I like that, yeah. We are
yes,
all
it's
beautiful.
true. Because if you're a woman, you don't have to wait for somebody to tell you you're beautiful. From the day you're born, you're unique, you're yourself, and you're beautiful. So that is why I said, I'm beautiful. So I am just a young woman, a mother of 2, single, a singer, performer, entrepreneur. You know, think about everything a woman can do. Like, I love cooking. I love taking care of my family. And the best thing I love doing is to care about others. So this is Elivava.
Where did you grow up?
I was born in Tema and I grew up in Tema, Community 4.
Hey, you're a Tema chick.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
You see?
Well, I'm asking you all of this because in our conversation you said you were exiled. And I was asking myself, in this age, who gets exiled? I mean, how? How did the whole getting into exile begin? Because in this age, is it possible? Were you really exiled?
Of course, it's a true story. I was exiled, and the reason for my being exiled is because I was born in Tema, as I said before. And when I was young, my father used to take us to the village, like every Christmas. And after some time, when I became like 10 years, I couldn't go back to the village again because my father wasn't around. I didn't know my way. And
where was he?
He traveled. He traveled for greener pastures, and he never came. And everything got upside down. I was homeless. My brothers scattered. Our house was sold. And you can imagine what happened. A lot happened.
Your father was away?
Yeah.
Who sold the house?
My uncle did. My uncle sold the house, threw my mom out, so we were homeless. I slept on the streets. Life was very, very bad. So I couldn't find...
You slept on the streets
Of course.
before?
I slept on the street, on the bench.
Where?
I used to sleep in front of California, around Osu, on the street, on a bench. You know, when people finish drinking and all that, I will hang around till everybody is gone and I'll sleep there.
Were you not scared?
What can I do? I was 13 going to 15 and I didn't know where to go. There was nothing. I became a hustler, like, you know, take anything and sell, and when I get small money, I use it for food and stuff like that. A lot was happening.
Where was your mother?
My mom, I can't really remember, but I think she went back to stay in Akimoda. And I'm a very independent person since I was a child. I like to take life into my hands and work it out on my own. So my mom started calling me to come to Akimodan, and I refused. So I kept refusing, and I kept hustling for myself.
What would give your uncle the warrant to sell a house that didn't belong to him?
Well, I can't tell now because it is a long story. Whatever happened then, we were very young. We didn't have the power. We didn't have the strength. And I think my mom was also a little bit naive. And you know, those days they used to say that you need to respect your husband's family and stuff like that. When they take decisions for you and all those kind of things. So she just left. And then everything got...
Where was her family?
Everybody was in the village where I come from.
So you are from Akimoda?
No, my mom was teaching she went to teach at Akimoda. I am from Baika, Volta region. That's where we are from.
So hustling on the streets of Accra, was your uncle not feeling guilty? Where were your brothers? Were they also hustling?
Yeah, my brothers went back home. They were going. I refused to go because it was like, no, I was born in Tema. I'm used to Tema life.
City life.
Yeah.
Chilling life.
You see, so I couldn't see myself going back to live.
To go to the riverside,
yeah,
to carry. At 13, 14. Wow.
Yeah.
you decided to stay?
Of course.
Did you go to school?
I dropped out of school at the age of 13.
Within that same period?
Yeah. That was when everything started happening. I dropped out. Everybody dropped out of school, my brothers. We all scattered. So everybody has to take their own life into their hands. That was what happened.
So at what time did you realize you could sing and decided to have a consolation in music?
You know, when I was growing up, I was singing in church, I was singing in school, I was winning competitions, and you know, so I knew that I can sing. But for one reason, I didn't know how. So on this journey, somewhere my auntie sent to come for me. So my mom came to look for me everywhere, and I went to stay in Ashaiman with my auntie. So I started going to Pentecost, the Church of Pentecost. I had always been a rebel, like think outside the box. They were Catholics. My mom is a Catholic and everything, but I was always like, there's something more. There's something more that I need to know. You know, I want to go deep. I want to know what's in the world. So when they're going to church, I just take my bath and I go to Pentecost. So this is how I got discovered by the pastor of Pentecost. He called young girls and boys, like kids, that they should form a choir, and I was part of them. So they started selecting from 100 till we became 9, and I was one of the lead singers. So we recorded somewhere around 1992 an album, and that was how I found myself in the studio. And this is quite like when I went to the studio after we finished the recording and everything, I'm always like, I want to know what's more. So, you know, I started going to the studio on my own all the time. Sometimes I'll go sleep in the studio all night, and everybody was just, I saw Mary, that was when Mary was Mary Ganza. I met Angelique Kidjo in the studio, and nobody, actually, I was like a church rat, that kind of thing. Yeah, nobody was like
you around.
That kind of thing. So one day I was in the studio. It was late night. There were, you know, studio sections. Sometimes they do night sections and all that. So they were looking for a singer, and I quite remember the name of the singer was Kukua, and she didn't turn up. So this is where Yofi, Nat Bruce's brother, he used to do jingles then. And then he was doing this jingle for Frito. And I said, but you said this girl can sing. And they said, yeah, she said she can sing, well, we don't know. So they brought me on. She said, can you sing? I said, yeah. She said, okay, can you do this? I said, yes, I can do it, and I can do the part. So this was the Frito advert, over and over again, over and over again. So I did that song, and it was like, wow. And yeah, I sang that day.
You got a job.
Yeah, but I didn't get paid though.
Yeah, but it got you somewhere.
Yeah, you see, so this is how, when Nat heard, he called me, I started working with Nat. And then that was how it kept. Yeah, I started backing people. I started going from one studio to another, and that is how. And by then, I have actually had. Within that time, I got pregnant.
For who?
Well, my children, my daughter should be 18 by now. So for their father. So
I like that.
Yeah. So within this time, I got pregnant, break up for a while, and then I got lost in the system again, and then I came back. So this is what I call exile, because I was never able to go back home.
Were you told don't come back home? Did the family reject you, or you decided to exile yourself?
Somehow, sometime, nobody was able to tell me that don't come back home. But whenever I go, like when I go back home, I'm like, no, this is not where, because nobody actually, like up to now, as I'm telling you now, nobody supports what I do. Why? But I force people, like I have to force them to support me because I think that what I'm doing is right, and that's my core. I'm always like thinking thinking about something else, whilst people think that this is the right thing to do. And I'll always tell them, no, this is my way, and that is how I want to do it. Though I listen, but yeah, when I see that this is what fits me, yes, I do it. You know, so those times, it wasn't easy because I had 2 children, a single mother, running around trying to make ends meet. Sometimes I wouldn't have a place to stay with my children.
Even after you were discovered?
Yes. Because sometimes you're like, you don't get jobs sometimes, and then there's no money, and then your house rent is finished, and then the landlord will say if you can't pay anymore, then you have to move. So then we move. Then sometimes I'll move into a guest house and I'll owe the guest house, and then I can't pay and I'll have to run. You know, I've actually hustled myself through to this time.
What she's narrating is like a movie. So your rent is due. Can I have tissue? I think she's dropping a tear. Nana, can I have tissue? Your lease will expire. Then you check yourself into a guest house, not knowing where your next job is going to come from. No. So let's say if it's for a month, you are in this guest house just hoping.
Hoping that there will be a job, because normally I dropped out of school and I don't have any certificate to show that I can do. Though I can manage a company, I know myself. But if I don't show anything,
willing to give you the chance.
So when I go out looking for jobs, I say I can do this. They're like, oh, what do you have to show for it? You know, and so it kept happening. And the only way I could save my children and myself is to move into a guest house, because I'm the type also who doesn't like to like depend on somebody, you know. So these things kept going on, and I refused to go home until now that I came to a realization. I told myself, okay, if people feel like what you're doing is not right, and since I have a heart to help people, I've always got that call. Because when someone tells me their story, even if I don't have the last I have to give. I want to give it, and I give it, and I go hungry. So I realized that it was a call. So this is how I always turn back to my family. And I say, no, this is my family. I don't have any other family. So why not go back home? If there's anything you want to help with, help, even if you don't get the help from them.
Restoration.
So within your struggle period, you were performing with all the big names.
Of course.
Who have you performed with?
Kojo Entry, I've performed with Batman. When you listen to Batman, so be doa, onchao sena kume mufita, that song I backed. So many. Nadbru, I've backed both on stage. Rocky Dawuni, Sydney's Apuskeleke. I mean, you know,
she's that voice. Yeah. Yeah. You hear Sydney say, now he's very much. You hear Tina Yankwe. That's her.
Oh my, I like that girl.
She's crying, so she's choking. So during that time, you were going through all these struggles.
Of course.
But you were very bubbly. Every time I saw you at that time, you were happy.
Of course, because, you know, nobody can make you happy in your life. You can always make yourself happy. And because I'm very creative, and even as at that time, you know, I'm a very temperamental person. So I decided that instead of being temperamental and violent, why not channel it? And that is the reason into the creative side. And that is the reason why I dance myself out. And that is the reason why I sing myself out. When I'm angry, that's when
you sing the best.
Yeah. So that is it.
Within that period, did any of your family members try to look for you? Were they not concerned?
Sometimes yes, they look for me, but I always feel like it's only because of something. Because I'm not saying this to say my family is not good. They're human. There are people maybe out of negligence don't know that I have to do this or I have to do this. But you see, families in Ghana actually, I think we don't support ourselves enough from the look of things, from my experience, because my family will some of them will only call me when someone is dead and they're looking for money to bury the person. I say it raw like that because that's how I feel. Hey, and Timodia mom friend me. Just say ebiobi and asobi yare. It's not fair. Oh, okay, let's say you heard that, oh, Tina, you see only baby Tio, you see her to guest house. You won't call to find out if she's doing well, but when someone dies, then you call and say, then that actually scares me because it's like you're only looking for something
to take.
Yeah, because they only call me Mother Christmas, and that's my name, Mother Christmas, because anytime there's something happen, I'll have to give, which is my call. You understand? But this thing keeps banging behind me that no, it's not the right thing, it's not the right thing, it's not the right thing. But I have to do it, you know.
Did your father ever come back?
My father is back.
Wow.
And my father is the only one, you know, and this is one of the things that I said I was exiled. Because when my father came, because when he left, we were so young, we didn't have that intimacy with my dad. He's a hardworking man. So he will always go and come back like 2, 3 a.m. So we never had this. So when he came back, we had this perception. And anytime my dad would come and look for me, I would run away.
Oh, why?
I don't know. And sometimes, to be frank, Stacey, as I'm sitting down here telling you, sometimes my father will look for me even to my doorstep. Now tell someone that they should tell him that I'm not there, and that pains me a lot. Now I don't know. I don't have an idea. I don't know the reason, but I have this perception that I don't know. I don't know.
You cannot explain it.
I can't explain it. I can't really explain that because there's something that they say. I must say, New Year or no, if you feel that kind of thing. So it gave me this
ideas
fear
and fear.
Yeah, that maybe when my dad comes to me, or maybe you understand some kind of.
Who are telling you this? Pastors. Who?
Yeah, some of them were pastors, some of them were friends who think they can see stuff like that. So I was like, and my family, some of them would say, oh, in your village, I be for and fine question. And this is what kept me running
Away from home.
Running away from home until I gathered the courage recently.
And when you would send people to tell your father Oniho and you were in the room, how do you think he took it? Because I'm sure you say that and you open your curtains and you're looking at his reaction.
Of course.
Was he broken?
And he was like, he even recently when I finally came to the realization, he cried. And I cried too, because
you had to confess all these things to him?
Yeah, you see, it's been like 2 years now when my dad will come to Tema and he will call, and yeah, I will go and sit down with him and we will talk up to midnight. That was when I came to the realization that no, this man is not what people say he is. So then I started waking up. It was, when are you coming home? When are you coming? He kept putting that, you know, come home, come home, come home. You know, so I said to myself, yeah, it's about time.
So where is your father now?
He's in the village.
What village?
Baika.
Baika. Where is it? In the Volta region?
When you go from Hohwe, you go to Lolobi, and then you are in Baika.
I know Lolobi.
Yeah, the northern
but I don't
part.
know Baika.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Wow. So now how does he feel? How does your mother also feel?
I really can't tell the way they feel, but I think they are very, very happy. They are very happy. Because I was there this January on the 3rd, and the whole town came out. I cooked from my hand for them. There was a lot of conflict. I made peace. And I'm telling myself that there's still more to be done. And since I started doing this, I'm happy. It's like a war is broken. It's like something that has been, you know, it's something I can't explain, Stacey. Even when I want to go, my children, you say, Mommy, no, because they're also afraid.
Because you started feeding them with what you were hearing.
Yeah, you know, that kind of thing. It's like, and you know, anytime I even planned to go there was a time I came to myself and I said, I want to go home. And something will happen. I will either lose my job, I will either lose money, or my son will be sick, or my daughter will be sick, or something will happen. It was like I
pushing that idea in. You don't have to.
And the negativity was growing because all the time I was thinking that something is going to happen, and it happens, you know. So I'm not able to do it, you know. And so this time it has been very, very cool.
So when you decided to go at the beginning of the year, you just said, I'm going, and you went.
I started saying I'm going in December, and something happened. I couldn't go. So I told myself, Say srube free srube come from kra. This year I'm going home. Ne kuna yesi ebe kume no yenkume because it's like uko okroma obewu. That perception. So I was like, no, I have to go home. My people need me. They will call me on a festival and I won't turn up.
Even to perform?
Yeah, and I won't go. And my father has been so, as for him, he has been so supportive. He will tell them, yeah, she's not around.
Even when you're around?
Yeah. And he will always say, I'm doing this because I love you. It's not like I like it. And he kept telling me that you have to come. When the time comes, you have to come. You know, so yeah.
You have traveled the world with your act. I mean, when you go to Europe, you're big. People know you at all these African festivals. So whenever you stand on that stage and you look back at you sleeping in front of California, how do you feel?
It makes me happy for being adventurous because when I was sleeping on that bench there, I didn't know who I was going to be. It makes me happy that somehow I was disrespectful. But sometimes when you disrespect people, it is for a good cause. You know, so when I see who I have become now, rebelling, I have no regrets at all. No regrets.
And now, is your family happy that you're a rebellious child and you've made something out of your life?
I think yes. I think now the beginning is hard. They're beginning to understand me somehow because they've seen that I've made it. I'm making it. No, I won't say I've made it, but I'm making it anyway. So yeah, not fully supportive, but yes, they're coming to the realization too.
You said
because on this course right now, my brother is like with me.
Okay. Awesome.
You know, and even when, you know, because of my temperament, sometimes I really get very furious when something is not done right. He's my elder brother, but he goes like that, you know. So it makes me realize that they have
interest at heart.
Yeah, an understanding. They're coming to that conclusion that yes, is working. Yeah, so.
Restoration.
I get happy when I know that women are being empowered. Women, we don't know how strong we are. We just don't know how strong we are. Without us, the men cannot build a nation.
Yeah.
Seriously. And the kind of power we have is more than what the men have. And I say this proudly. If the men think I'm lying, they should try to go to the labor world and come back.
Yeah.
We are so strong.
Yes.
So strong, but we always look down on ourselves. And I tell every woman that the best kind of empowerment that you need to have is to believe in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself and you do not value yourself, then forget about being empowered. These are key elements that you need to be empowered. If you believe in yourself, you can go places. If you believe in yourself, it builds your confidence. It builds you. You can go anywhere. I was listening to radio and a pastor said he was the most handsome man in the world. I had not seen his face, but he was bold about it. So I started telling myself, I'm the most beautiful woman in the world in the car too. You can choose to believe it. You can choose to take it. But that is your opinion. That is what I believe. And if we are able to instill this sense in women, and I think we should start it with young girls so they grow up knowing who they are.
Yeah.
So they grow up knowing I don't need somebody to tell me I'm beautiful. I don't need someone to tell me I'm this.
Yeah.
I know who I am.
Of course.
There is a little girl, I asked her, how are you? She said, Auntie, I'm fine and beautiful, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
She knows she's beautiful.
Yes.
So the moment we start letting our children understand this concept and even getting the men to understand this concept, women cannot be fully empowered.
Of course.
So I really want to come with you because this year Restoration is launching the Love Project, the Love Project is a domestic violence and abuse campaign for women and girls.
No, Stacey, I'm not even stopping you. You know, I'm a victim of domestic violence. You know,
Are you kidding?
Of course, yeah. Because when I used to be with my children's father, I don't know what really was the thing, but sometimes I remember sometimes he will slap me and I'll fall down and he will use his leg to stamp my head. And you know, I went through, but you know, there's something about these things that I went through, Stacey. They made me stronger. And they made me who I am today. And these are some of the things that I am going to use to empower the other. Of course, there are some scars on me when you see them. When I tell you that this is what
a man, who you've got children
of
with.
Course, you know. So I would preach this because I want other women to be empowered as well. You can't allow anybody molest you or
do advantage of you
because you're vulnerable, or maybe they take advantage. No, it's a no.
So did you ever report him?
Yeah, I didn't do the reports. One day at Sakumano Junction, he was doing his thing, you know. That was when I break off.
No, on the street.
On the street, I went to D Sharp studio. That was after I've given birth to 2. I decided that no, I've actually my yera kwano, so I need to get myself back. So I was in a trotro one day going to Accra, and I saw D Sharp studios. So when I was coming back, I walked there. And I told them I can sing. I had my small baby. I was backing him behind me. So, and then this man came out, and he said, "Oh, obetumi atunyo." I said, "Yes, I can sing. Metumi a part ningina." I said, "Okay, mon try no." And this man was some tea. So I said, won't try girl, no. And they were looking, that day they were also looking for someone to come and do backup for him. And they didn't get. So the engineer was like, now be a new film, but I said now, then I was actually in some yeah, tattered, very tattered. Mamotu born serious. Me need deodorant. Me need scacrad mato deodorant. So you say be a minimum. You know ma tete me tiko ha say apart because permanent when you need to. No, I'm telling you a real story. You know na. Some tika say omun use me because I'm in dreams ka on person me told you I want to sing. So he took me to the studio and I started singing. He was like, "Oh, okay, mo mani making yum na 8 songs." So I went home very late that day. He didn't mind me. The second day I went again because it was nice. I was relieved.
You were getting fulfillment.
So then I went back there and I came back again like 10, 11. It was like, and I started running with my baby behind me. Me Janessa, because my name is sad and there. No dimechi, and then we ended up there. He caught me. No, yeah, me. Now that day, what happened is a man was driving. Like people would drive slow down and then take off. Then this man stops. I don't know where again is a gram baby and you know,
the baby came off.
Yeah, I didn't even know where the baby fell. So the man said, I don't know where girl is. I said, I am here. Oh, now so when we sat in the car, right on the corner there was the Sakumano police station. He drove straight into the police station. And that was how he was arrested.
So if it wasn't for the man,
I wouldn't even do it.
You could never think of it.
I wouldn't, yeah. I was afraid. You see, so I want to preach this to my fellow women. You shouldn't allow anybody to treat you like that. As soon as they start walking off, because you
when he hits you one, you hit you
You
twice.
don't even allow it to become one.
Some people say it's love.
No.
Yeah. Yes. I was working on the love project, and I went into a meeting, and a man told me that some women love to be beaten. I said, really? He said, yes.
But it's never so.
I don't think any sane woman would want to be beaten up.
At all. No. You know, in those times, that was what people were saying about me. I love to be beaten. I love to be beaten. But it wasn't true. It wasn't true. I was afraid. Say, hey, nkola mienu we, se mi fi ha me kwen. What I say? I was afraid. I was afraid to actually face the world with 2 children. Where am I going to know how? So you see, is some guys in the music industry that actually encourage me and say, listen, you are a beautiful singer. You need to move. So these guys actually came to pack me out of his house.
Wow. Can you share their names? So I applaud them.
Sam T was one. Michael was one. Dan, the singer who sings with Dan Gra.
Okay.
He's one of them. These are the guys who
so at least he realized you had men who could stand up for you.
Because my family wasn't there. I didn't have anybody. So they came and they said, Tina, oh yeah, dear. Freya, what is wrong with you? So yeah, they came. Michael had a car. That day he was out. So I packed out like
a headless chicken.
I just left. And that day, I'm always going back to that day and say, thank you, thank you, thank you.
It's done well. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you,
I have some few products from our sponsors for you.
Thank you.
So you can take them home and share with the kids. Can we have our Yaz product and our Hooch cornflakes? I'm saying a very big thank you to La Palm Royal Beach Hotel, where we record every day, to Yaz washing powder and Yaz sanitary pad, Hooch corn and choco flakes, to GTP celebrating 50 years of styling and clothing Ghanaians, Africans, and the whole universe. Thank you to Fine Yoga Nutrition on the Go, La Palm Royal Beach Hotel, Yaz washing powder and Yaz sanitary pad, Hooch corn and choco flakes, special ice mineral water, and special drinks. GTP celebrating 50 years of clothing all of us, and I think we should all be proud and go to the market to get a GTP fabric. It could be New Style, Adepa, or Safwa, and you will be sure to promote Ghanaian business industry. I'm saying thank you to Brown Gold Natural Cocoa Powder from Hots, to Swift by Daylex Finance. All you have to do is pick up your phone, dial *721#, or just dial 721. If you're getting lazy, like I do get lazy sometimes. And the comfortable thing about Swift is you can just sit right here in this couch, pick up your phone, and send money to your account. The beautiful thing about Daylex is your account number is your phone number. Isn't that amazing? You can never forget your account number, can you? Because it's your phone number. And every business, every transaction, no matter how huge it is or how small it is, happens right on your phone. So you can be in your classroom, at the marketplace, in your office. You can even be on stage performing. Yeah, then you just send. Wow. You charge big, so you should do about 2,000 every week. And you will be saving for a better tomorrow, and even for your own children. Yes. So please, every woman out there, we're asking you to be empowered And one of the easiest way to be empowered is having a guaranteed and secured investment. And my choice is Swift, and I advise that you do same. I'm saying a very, very big thank you to Roji Hair Studio at Dakuman Kokompe for my hair, to Nancy Black for my makeup, and Ophelia of ABS Collection for my outfit. I want to say thank you very much for watching us today. Wherever you are, always do remember you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Come to the end of the tunnel. I see a bright light shining through, and it's just for you.